Everybody, thanks for watching. And just a quick reminder that Zodiac Body Volume 2 is now available, as well as the Debating the Bible series. It's 3 videos. Make sure you guys check those out. Talked about in the last video about books. Books are going out there. All books are now available, but they're going to be gone soon. And it's going to be a long wait for the next round of books. So if you want a book, grab it now. Everybody who's waiting, as I said in the last video, books are on the way. When you guys get your receipt, it's a number on there for you guys. You all get the next book free. Everybody who's been waiting for a long time. So make sure you check that receipt and you'll see a number on there. You'll get the next book free. So I appreciate, again, you guys' patience and support on the whole thing. Never Pay Again members and Merkabah Academy Pro members. So site's being under construction for a while. Talked about the whole bandwidth situation and just having so many people come to the site and how these hosting companies are basically charging us an arm and a leg for bandwidth, and how we had to basically condense this section down, which is the whole point for the $7.99 Merkabah Academy Pro membership. The area where the videos are, it's up. This is what it looks like. As you can see here, it's the last 9 videos. It will always be the last 9 videos. The newest video will be there at the top, and then you'll have the rest of the videos that you can download. Just click on those 3 dots and you can download the video. Now there will be another page. You can see when you click on the Conscious Courses, it's a drop down, and it's where the digital downloads are. That page is being worked on right now. Will be up and running by tomorrow. So when you click on it, you can see here all the videos are there. You can scroll through. All the videos are here. You click on it, you will have you can download the videos from there. So all the videos will be available to download, and we're working on the other parts of the site where videos are for other members. So all that is getting worked on. It'll be up and running before the holiday is over, at least by Monday. Also for the $7.99 for Merkabah Academy Pro Access. So it's available now, $7.99. So the new videos that came out, you'll have access to the new videos. You'll be able to download the new videos, and all new upcoming videos you'll have access to. You will only be able to get the last 9 videos now. So you won't have all digital downloads. You won't have access to all those digital downloads. And we had to do this because, people are scamming. They're scammers. So we had a bunch of people, basically come on there and they pay $7.99, and we was giving everybody all the digital downloads. But once they got, the videos and downloaded them all, they canceled their subscription. So, this is what happens. You got to deal with shit like that. I don't expect people to do that to me, but people do shit like that. So we had to change it to this. So if you're a Never Pay Again member, you have access to all videos. Everybody who's paying us $7.99 a month, you will have access to all the newest, latest videos and the last 9. So whenever a new video comes out, that thing will rotate, and you will not be able to have all the other previous videos, just the last 9. And unfortunately, that's just how it is for now. But what I'll do is, for anybody who doesn't want to pay the $7.99 monthly, but you want Never Pay Again membership, I'll offer it until the 5th for $2.99. So this will be, again, a final shot to get Never Pay Again membership, and you'll have access to all those videos as well. So if you want Never Pay Again membership, it's available until the 5th for $2.99 if you don't want to pay the $7.99 a month. Now, also, if you're already a Never Pay Again member, you do not have to pay the $7.99. Never Pay Again means never pay again. So if you're already a Never Pay Again member, don't pay the $7.99. You're good to go. So also, we're having a giveaway. So we need to get at least 500 people to become Merkabah Academy Pro members and subscribe for the $7.99 a month. And we will give away all you see here to 2 people. So that's the new PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, the Xbox Series X, the new Nintendo Switch, the old Nintendo Switch, also a iPad Pro with a keyboard that comes with it, and a case for the Switch. And there's no games going to come with it. It's going to be for 2 people. All you have to do is, when you subscribe, make sure you go in the comment section and put your username for Merkabah Academy in the comment section. We're going to pick 2 people on the 6th to win this, but we need to get at least 500 people. That's 5 days. We need to get at least 500 people to sign up and subscribe and become a Merkabah Academy Pro member. And we're going to have this giveaway, which I will announce in the video on the 6th. Also, those of you who have already bought the Merkabah Academy Pro Access, make sure you guys go ahead in the comment section and comment your username and subscribe. Those of you who know me know I'm a gamer. I've been selling video games for years, and I'll eventually get into some esoteric games because there's a lot of games out there that you can do long videos on and have a lot of information, a lot of hidden stuff in a lot of these video games. So I'll get into a lot of game titles eventually for people to understand what these games are about. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe first, and then make sure you go ahead and purchase the Merkabah Academy Pro membership, $7.99 a month. And all you got to do, as I said, just comment your username and subscribe. A lot of people don't understand how much goes into protecting a website and just dealing with stuff like this. And I've been scammed so many times, people overseas, people here. It's just, you just don't expect it to happen for something like this. But if it's a way for a person to scam you and money's involved, they'll do so. So, we got to deal with it. But this is the process and what's happening, what's taking place. But, make sure you guys grab the Merkabah Academy Pro membership, $7.99 a month. A lot of new videos coming up. So instead of paying for the new videos, $7.99 a month, you will get all the new videos and those last 9. So definitely take advantage of that. So now to get into this video, because, of course, it's a lot going on. And real quick before I continue, the video I talked about where I was telling you guys I can't put it out on YouTube. So it's available right now on Merkabah Academy. If you are a Never Pay Again member, you'll have access to it. If you are a Merkabah Academy Pro member, you can see it. It's there for you guys to watch. It'll be the featured video at the top of that page. So, it's a lot of stuff on there I can't talk about, can't get into on YouTube. So I'm talking about everything that's been happening. I don't even want to say the names because of the algorithm. So all the stuff that's happening with the, gun control and, everything that's been happening, we're going to get into that, all that information. It's a lot to get into. Roe versus Wade, we'll talk about that as well, because it's not what, what people think it is. And it's going to make sense, but just be aware that we really covered most of the stuff if you've been paying attention, and you should be able to see it. Talked about it. I said Corona's coming back, and we're going to get into it in that video, so you'll understand a lot of stuff. This is not like it's summertime. It's July. July is coming up, and yeah, this is the month. And like I said, we'll get into it. But yeah. So make sure if you're a Never Pay Again member, if you're a Merkabah Academy Pro member, you'll have access to that. And again, like I said, the app is complete for iPhone. We just tweaking it because there's some stuff that's coming that we gotta, get ready for. And then it's the bandwidth issue we have to prepare for as well. So again, you guys supporting is helping us to be able to bring this app, in fullness, the way it should be without being dumbed down. And there's a lot that I want to bring to it, but it's this bandwidth issue. I don't own, nobody owns the internet. These ISPs and the way they have it set up, they have crazy equipment. It's just, it's levels to this stuff. And we're constantly, trying to build up to have everything we need. I did what I needed to do as far as the legal part to have what I needed before they killed the whole net neutrality situation. So it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff people don't understand. And it's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes that, people don't understand. If I was just, this was a gaming channel, it wouldn't be a problem. If I was talking about makeup and some shit, clothes, it wouldn't be a problem. It's because everything that they're doing is to censor this. This is about to be gone. If you're not paying attention, you're going to miss it. There's not many people putting out this kind of information, so you can't even talk about anything. They will shut your channel down. This stuff is going to be gone. So anybody who hasn't taken the steps to prepare for it, when I was talking about this over a year ago, they're going to be screwed because they're not going to be letting nobody into that space. So like I said, it'll make sense later on, but I appreciate everybody's patience and support on everything that's been going on. And it's not, I'm slacking or falling off or I'm not as dedicated. It's shit that's in the way, it's stuff. It's shit that happens. And then on top of that, you got to deal with people scamming you. So it's a lot, but where this stuff is headed, it's possible and it's coming. It's just a whole timing situation, which is what I always say. I appreciate the patience and everything and the support, because it's just a lot. It's just a lot that people don't see, and we can't even really get into it. Even if you start talking about the what's happening with the censorship and everything, I mean, it's a lot. They flagging you, and it's my channel is already blacklisted. So a lot of you guys, as I said, hit that bell and just pay attention. Like, I send out messages, I send out emails, and a lot of people are not getting the alerts when a new video comes out. I can see stuff that I talk about, people sending me emails asking questions, and I'm like, I talked about all that in the video, and it's like people are not seeing it. So stay up on YouTube. Make sure you hit that bell. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I always put it in the beginning of the video for my Instagram. So you can see whenever a new video comes out, I always post it in the story, in my story on my Instagram. So make sure you follow me on that. Make sure you follow on this Facebook channel as well. I always post a video on that. So if you're following all this stuff, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 different things. Merkabah Academy, you're going to see the video. You're going to see it on my Instagram. You're going to see it on my Facebook. You're going to see it on YouTube. So if you're following all these things, you'll be able to see the video. You'll have 4 different ways you can see it, and you won't be missing. So all 4 won't fail. You'll be able to see it pop up if you're following this stuff, and you won't miss nothing. So we send out emails. A lot of people say, I'm not getting the emails. We send them out. Check your spam. And then sometimes you won't get the email for days. But if you're keeping up with these YouTube and so on and so forth, you'll always know when something new is coming out, and you won't miss it. So that way you won't be behind on the information or what have you. So all of that is going to be done away with and fixed once the app launches, because then you'll have the alerts. So we have push notifications to where, you'll get an alert on your phone just like you do from any other app when anything comes out. So that way you don't have to worry about anything. So it's just a process. And again, appreciate you guys' patience on everything. So now let's get into the video. So a lot of stuff going on religious wise, and my channel is mostly geared towards religion. I don't really get so much into Islam as people always point out, because if you understand Christianity and history, Islam is very easy. I broke it down in 2 videos that's on YouTube, and it's just enough said when you understand that. Christianity is deeper because it's so much they hit into it, and you understand it when you read the Bible. Everything is in there. Everything you need to know is in that book. It's pointing you in the right direction. It's a lot, but we still have this ongoing debate with the Christian community, and it's been building up. You would think, after everything that's been going on, Corona and everything that's been happening, all, the shootings or what have you, people would understand by now everything that's happened. Like, it's bullshit. They already exposed themselves when, you had a caution sign on the holy water. Like, you can't drink it because of, Corona. They already exposed themselves with the Pope wearing a mask. And so, all these so-called church people that was walking around smacking people upside their head, supposedly healing people, didn't show up for nothing. Preachers opened a church and died of the virus. People in the church died. It's just, come on. There was so much proof lately since this stuff has been going on that shows you it's bullshit, and you need to be looking in alternative places. But what's happening now, and as you can see, and a lot of people sending me videos and information from all these type of people, which we're going to go through in this video real quick, and send me information about these people who's been putting out information for years. There's a couple videos out there I touched on in a previous video, guys attacking my channel and so on and so forth. But it's people who want to piggyback on the discoveries that, that's been found. And we talked about this years ago. They are trying to attach themselves on to history that we know exists, to put themselves, in history, the so-called Israelites. So all of these stelas that's been found, that's supposedly mentioning, Jehoiachin and all these people from the Bible, Jezebel and what have you, all this stuff is bullcrap. You're going to have a lot of these guys come to you and say to you that they found a tablet, or they found some type of writing or an amulet, something that had some type of biblical writing on it that they're going to predate. It's going to predate the Bible. And then they're going to say it's proof that gives validity to the book. And it's nonsense, because first of all, the stuff predates the Bible, and we can go by the date they give us for the Bible and say that, okay, this is, Moses wrote it. We had an old Torah, so on and so forth. We can't prove none of that. We only can go by the written which we have, actual fragments of pieces. And then you got to take into account the fact that St. Jerome changed all that. So when we get into the Septuagint, Greek, white Greeks, when we get into that, we got to understand that, okay, we had a Septuagint and we have the whole story and we have this whole translation from Hebrew, supposedly translation from Hebrew to Greek. It doesn't matter, because when you get to St. Jerome and the Latin Vulgate, he changed it all. The Vetus Latina, we don't even really know who wrote it. So you have St. Jerome, who took the Septuagint and completely changed it, and everybody's in agreement on that. We don't know what it originally said. He changed it. So the people who say, okay, well, this is a black religion, black book, so on and so forth, we have all been brought up on the King James Version. Stop trying to go back and say that this Hebrew stuff and all the stuff that we've been seeing is stuff that you've been learning all your life. You know the King James Version. That's it. Stop bullshitting. You don't know about this other stuff that been out before the King James Version. You was raised on that. That's what you know. And all of the, the revised books, the NIV and so on and so forth, it's, NLT and all that stuff. It comes off the King James Version. So we got to go back, and the buck stops at the white St. Jerome, who basically completely changed the Septuagint. He's a Roman. And he also spoke Greek, and he gave us these translations. And, this is what we have. So off the codexes, off of that into the Latin Vulgate, which is what they use, and, Masoretic text, which is later the whole Hebrew books, which we can't even really get into that. This is where we get our stuff, up all the way up to King James. I talked about the 16 Bibles that was before the King James Version. So you have to think about that. It's over 20 biblical books and manuscripts that existed before we get the King James Version. So why so many revisions? If it was nothing wrong with the original book, why did they change so much? And this is what we got to think about. So the people who are coming to you, so these guys that you people are sending me, these people right here, as you can see who they are, you guys may recognize some of these guys. They've been putting up videos for a while now, but it's nonsense. It's a joke. And it's this, when you start messing with people money, that's the problem. A lot of these preachers are upset. One of the conversations I had with a preacher, and I actually had a couple of consultations with churches. I had a whole phone conference with a church, and you have some preachers that are cool, and they same situation with me, raised in the church. I was, uncle was the preacher. I was believing in the word. But then when this information comes across, it's hard to ignore it. And if you know the Bible, it's going to stick out to you more. So I had quite a few preachers hit me up and, do conferences and stuff like that. And we got into a lot of information because some of these guys really want to know the truth. And one of the biggest questions you get is there a way to properly teach the Bible? And we had a couple people come out and, do that, like Ray Hagins and others try to teach, from the Bible and, stuff that you need to understand, esoteric. Jordan Maxwell, Donahue, and a lot of people who go in the book and try to teach you the esoteric part of it. But you just have people who think that it's some type of scam. It's a trick. See, we got to remember the stuff that they were saying back then. People really believe that Satan, went ahead and you got people who really believe that Satan went and built the pyramids to deceive us in the future. That's why I wasn't mentioned, in the Bible. And Satan went and built this stuff. Or Satan went and put all this proof and stuff out there to deceive us now so we don't follow the Bible. And these people say this and they don't follow the Bible. Their preachers don't follow the Bible. It's nonsense. It's a lot of questions we can ask. Okay, well, then why didn't God stop them? The one I always ask if, okay, God drowned all these people for being evil, but why he leave Satan alive? So it's a mindset. And it's one of the reasons why I said be careful before you get into any type of debates with these people. But now, recently, they coming for us. They want war. And this whole all out battle between the conscious community and Christianity. But these people don't realize how crazy they sound. And then they all do the same thing. You'll realize they're willing to say anything to get their point across because it's all they have. Nothing is factual. No type of proof. Everything they come into is straight out. And it's just their belief. You had this guy point to books and say that these books are over 2,000 years old. It's modern books. How these books, this book is 2,000 years old. This is what he says in that video, if you've seen it. Then he says it's an original source. So this book, how is it an original source? It's a book. You just got the print press in the 15th century. So how was this over 2,000 years old and we didn't have books back then? It should be in a manuscript form in a language that you can't read. So it had to be in a translation done, which they don't elaborate on. So, these people talk about, okay, well, nobody should be talking who doesn't have a degree. If you don't have a degree, you can't be talking all this conscious stuff, which is nonsense. Like, nobody needs a degree to be conscious and to understand what's going on. These people have these ideologies about what we believe. They think that we, said we're going to worship Osiris and Isis, and that we actually worship these people over Jesus. We believe in them and we worship them the way they worship Christ. And they don't understand what this stuff really is. And that's an esoteric understanding. And these people didn't actually exist, but it's giving you knowledge about something completely different that you'll never understand as long as you got your face in that Bible. And you taking all this stuff as, truth and face value. So, these people, they want to come out and paint us as some type of just evil people. We're deciding to choose evil over good because their book is just good and God is just trying to help everybody out. They don't read the book, so they don't know the truth. And this one guy's talking about on here, he ordained or he went to seminary or whatever the hell, college school, got a degree, he's a theologist or theologian or whatever. And he's talking about how you need a degree. You got to have a degree. And a degree obviously didn't give him common sense to understand. You don't need a degree to read a book. Just read the book. And our argument has always been there's no validity in this stuff. We can't prove it. And then you just surround that with everything that the book's surrounded by. How we got the book during slavery, and everything that's surrounding this book. And it's just stuff that they choose to ignore. You can be in conversation with them for a long time and you just keep bringing up slavery, and the response is always going to be, well, we wasn't the only one who wasn't enslaved. But it's so much deeper than that. So the arguments is real simple to us, but it seems like it's really hard for them to comprehend common sense, which we already know. It's just the whole point is it's too many people coming out now with piggybacking information and trying to use our information, our discoveries that really, pertain to consciousness and to our ancestors than the Bible. And this is what's happening. So the stuff that they're finding, even with the Merkabah stela, trying to say it says Israel on there. And anybody who studies that understand what happened with that situation is, basically a couple of lines can change what is being said here. And it's not saying Israel. It's really talking about just the area in Canaan, which we know Canaan was an area that was under the control of Canaan, which is what we basically call Israel today. That was under control of the ancient Egyptians. It was part of the Egyptian empire. So even if it's going back and talking about a land that pertains to, Canaan, or could possibly be talking about Israel. And that's the whole thing. They wanted to say Israel to say that name existed back then, and it didn't. And that's not what it's saying on the Merkabah stela. It's not saying Israel. It's what they're trying to say would translate into Israel, but they're taking it back. And if we're taking it back, then we're taking it back to Canaan. And even still, no matter what you took it back to, it was controlled by the Egyptians. So the whole thing about the Exodus, if they went and left Egypt and, wandered or whatever they did, no matter where they was going, they was still in Egyptian territory. So it don't make sense. So everything that they're finding with these dates and so on and so forth, pay attention to the location they found it in. One, a lot of it is Egyptian anyway. And yeah, of course you're going to find it there. What they're doing is they understand the names of these people who existed. And they're trying to say that these people are the people that's in the Bible. Now, this stuff predates the Bible. So common sense will tell you that, the history back then, these people knew a lot of these people. And all you would have to do is just put their name in the Bible. That stuff existed before the Bible. So We know this person exists. We know it could possibly be some private correspondence between this person or writings from this person. So we're going to use his name as one of the biblical characters in the Bible and put him in the Bible. It's just that simple. Say this person existed and we got proof he existed. But even if they do that and then you find it and the names match up, so on and so forth, it doesn't prove the story. It doesn't prove it. You can find a bunch of stuff that say King David. It don't prove the story in the book. It's just a name. It don't prove anything. And this is what these Christians is coming out doing, saying that we found this stuff and they got a name on it and the name matches this person in the Bible. So all this stuff is true. So this guy's talking about how, it was Christians, the church, that built Black Wall Street, and we got to have more respect for the church because the church built Black Wall Street and all those businesses and all that stuff was being run by Christians. So where the fuck was God when it got burnt down? Where was God to protect them from the also Christians, KKK? So these people arguments it's crazy. It's like a mental disease. And I'm like, my hand over my face. It's people serious with the argument. And this guy's saying, conscious community, we need to keep the church out our mouth because, we're basically standing on the backs of praying grandmothers and all this bullshit. These people is crazy. I don't know, what kind of following a lot of these people have. But what's happening, as I said, you have a lot of young people that's waking up. It's a lot of young people out there that's putting out videos with, conscious information. A lot of people leaving the church. And it was one of the things I talked to a pastor about, was how, and that's one of the reasons why they got in contact with me, is because the church on Sundays empty. Young people's going, a bunch of old people in there, 12, 13 people. Parents can't get their kids to come. Kids don't want to come. The kids woke. They enter the information. And it's like, some people want to be on the right side. They want to understand. And then at the same time, we kind of sort of need people to be taught the Bible the old way to understand the truth. So, there's pros and cons to that. So it's like, you would have to teach it to them. They would have to understand, what's being said. So when the truth comes out, it makes more sense to them, as far as just giving them this information. And they have no idea who Ezra is or, Elisha or Elijah or Abraham. They don't know about the stories. The stories is important, because then you can break them down so you can point out the esoteric teaching within the story. The whole thing with Nebuchadnezzar, the whole thing with Nicodemus is stuff that they need to know, so it's important to teach both ways. So this guy also said we have no logical reason for speaking against the Bible. And talking donkeys, talking snakes. Elisha was superhuman powers like Goku. Jonah, I mean, come on. 3 days in a big fish. Jesus walking on water, turning water into wine, raising the dead, healing the sick. And so, come on, we have a bunch of reasons, logical, to question the book. Noah's Ark story alone. It's a lot. So these people just talk. Then you have this guy who's attacking, conscious community, saying that all of our information is pseudo, which don't get no more pseudo than the Bible. I mean, we're in fourth person, basically, when we read it. You have the person that's saying, hey, this is the gospel according to Mark. And Mark basically is writing about Jesus, right? So this is his account. So we have to we don't know. Jesus ain't writing the book. We don't know what's going on. So we have what we think is Jesus' account of what happened with Jesus, told to us by Mark, told to us by somebody, whoever this person is, who's telling us what Mark's supposed to have said. And then we're reading it and teaching it to the people. And it's like, come on, pseudo? And there's no proof that these people ever existed. It's crazy. So we have this guy and other people saying this stuff that, our stuff is pseudo and that we're getting our information from white scholars. And the Bible was given to us by white people. And then you have people who don't have no information or knowledge who still thinks the Ethiopian Bible is the oldest Bible. And it's not. It's not older than the Septuagint. It's not older than Codex Sinaiticus or Codex Vaticanus. It's not. And then you get the Ethiopian Bible from Abba Garama, as I always talk about, who was a white Byzantine royal who came and, translated the book from a Greek manuscript and gave it to them. So it's a lot of knowledge, and these people are bold, and they come and they do videos and they have no idea. So when you trace, I talked about the Black Hebrews, they need for King James to be black because they know when they trace the book back, you go run into the white man, you go run into the Septuagint Greek and LXX and Ptolemy, the second Philadelphius, and all that. So when you do real research, this is what you're going to run into. So they're trying to say that, oh, all the books, Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark and Ivan, all these people got all the information from white scholars. And it's a big difference in what they're saying, Gerald Massey and all these guys. It's like, okay, well, these white scholars who we are, we're listening to, and we're basically making our own decision based off of what they're saying, because I don't believe everything that they say as well. You got to go do your own research. So we're saying that these people, the difference is they're telling us about our real history. They're telling us that we was kings. They're telling us about our accomplishments and stuff that we did. So these white people are saying this about us. So of course we're going to listen to it because they're giving us information that we can track and follow and prove, versus the Bible, which they also talk against and telling us that that it stole from us. So you guys are following the Bible that's basically saying turn the other cheek, to obey the slave master as you would obey Jesus Christ. So equating the slave master to Jesus, God. A book that tells you to, basically be content with what you have, and it's okay to be poor, because if you're rich, you can't get into heaven. It's going to be impossible. This is what you're following, versus somebody that's teaching us about our real history, that we was kings and that we had civilizations and so on and so forth. And it doesn't matter if it's white, if we can prove the information. And that's our argument, what it's about. If we can go back and prove the validity of the Bible, we'd be Christians. But these people are so bent on the fact that it's so much surrounding Christianity and movies and so on and so forth. It must be real. So that's what's in their brain, that it must be real because God is on a dollar. And it's just so much. And it's just, ignorance. And for this guy to say, oh, it goes back to the white man. All our stuff is pseudo, comes from the white man. And your book, King James Version, that's what you know. It's white. And if you don't want to go by that, we didn't distribute the books. White folks did. We didn't own the printing press. We didn't own distribution houses. They did. So yes, a lot of people have been hitting me up and sending me information about this stuff, and people who, man, a lot of these videos are old. A lot of these guys have very few followers and subscribers or what have you. And it's garbage. Anybody who really does this, that's, and I tell people when, if I entertain somebody who send me a message or what have you, I tell them to go to YouTube and go into the comment section of my videos and then put the information down there. And I know, one of you guys will chew their ass up. Or I tell them to go to Merkabah Academy and put it, on the timeline of Merkabah Academy. And then let's see what somebody tells you. I'm not going to debate with you because it's no point. But when you have enough people giving you the same information, at some point, it's going to click. It's going to click. And a lot of these people, they want to believe that they fighting God's fight and God is going to reward them and so on and so forth. But deep down, they know they're not following that book. They're not reading it. They don't know it. And we had this guy who's making a joke. A lot of you guys probably seen this video. He's talking about why we're so obsessed with the dead. Because we say stuff like, well, we have the bodies of the pharaohs. Where's the bodies of your prophets? He's like, why y'all so obsessed with the dead? Now, realizing that it's proof. We have proof. So the stuff we're talking about, we have proof. We have the people who we're talking about. We have the inscriptions. We have the ruins. We have the writings. There's no other civilization on the planet that has the kind of, history that the biblical Jews are supposed to have, and there's nothing to back it up. We can go into every other civilization and find writings. We can find their bodies, tombs, so on and so forth. This is what we're talking about. People outside the Bible who talked about them. And that's one of the claims this guy is talking about in his video is, oh, this is stuff from outside of the Bible. But it's no proof. He's just saying, well, this name matches the name of the person in the Bible. But this, inscription existed before the Bible was written. So there is information that this guy existed, that somebody knew about him and put him in a book. Or the whole artifact could be fake itself, which it's already a big investigation underway about all of the antiquities frauds and scams throughout the museums around the world. Stuff has been fake. They follow a religion that's centered around a dead guy, but we're obsessed with dead people. You're obsessed with a dude supposedly died for our sins and came back, and y'all wear his dead body on the cross around your neck, and we're obsessed with dead people. Y'all eat the body of Christ and drink his blood, but we're obsessed with dead people. It's craziness that you guys got to just understand. There is a battle. It's been going on for thousands of years, and it's just been amped up. But now you're having more preachers jump in because their churches and their collection plates is real light. So they're trying to jump in. And a lot of them is trying to jump into this knowledge, which I said this a long time ago. I told y'all they're going to try to marry consciousness with Christianity because you're supposed to, if you know how to do it. The thing is, they're using it to try to give validity to the book. And they don't even know how to do that right. But you're supposed to marry the two. That's the whole point. Consciousness and Christianity, they go together hand in hand. You got to understand the esoteric stories. But they have to understand what we're talking about. And if you do the actual research on the esoteric side, it makes the Bible make more sense. They too scared to do that because they don't want to touch the whole Satan boogeyman stuff. So they're lost, and they're going to continue to run in circles and be lost, as long as they leave the real stuff alone and don't do real research on real history. So yeah, want to get into this information real quick. Put this stuff out. It's a lot more we're going to get into with this. It's just setting the stage for something bigger that we'll get into later. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch, and make sure you guys grab the Merkabah Academy Pro membership. Grab Zodiac Body 1 and 2. They'll be right there when you get the membership, $7.99 a month. And I appreciate it. It's going to help us do what we need to do to bring the site to full scale. And it's just something I can't do on my own. So I appreciate everybody who's helping and supporting and who's been sticking with me over the decade I've been doing this. And I appreciate it. And for the new people, it's a lot of people who don't understand a lot of the information. It's so many videos I have on YouTube. I know you guys got questions, but it's so many videos. And you got to go back and look at those older videos and, get into their information. So I know people be wanting me to elaborate on more things, but I just don't have the time right now. I will soon. So we're trying to get this stuff together so I can give a proper, go live and give a proper lecture on a lot of this information, because it's starting to come together now more than it has before. And what's coming up is going to just give everything a lot more validity. So we're going to talk about that in the video on Merkabah Academy. So I'll see you guys over there in that video. Thanks for taking the time to watch again, and see you next video.